I love Tobey Maguire. Joey King has never been in a bad film.
Fool. Okay.
Wish Upon, Slenderman, The Act, whatever that show is on Hulu.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, that's got Patricia Arquette.
I just saved a movie the other day where the whole film is about her grandma's dying wishes for Joey King to learn how to give a good blowjob. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to... The great thing about MJ is when you look in her eyes and she's looking back in yours, everything feels not quite normal. Because you feel stronger and weaker at the same time. You feel excited and at the same time terrified. The truth is you don't know what you feel, except you know what kind of man you want to be. It's as if you've reached the unreachable and you weren't ready for it. The one-stop shop for everything Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. I'm Zane.
And I'm Casey.
Sorry for the delay on... some scheduling errors, and we're glad to be back, and we very much appreciate everybody that listens, and we very much appreciate everyone that appreciates Michael Papajohn as much as we do now, because oh my god, what a discovery.
Hello everybody, I'm officially a college graduate now, and I was obviously the valedictorian of my class, and while on stage delivering my speech,
yes,
I did thank Papajohn in person, and I did quote Spider-Man. In fact, the quote that Mr. Zane used in the opening here was actually verbatim what I said on stage, so thanks for jacking my shit. But yeah, dear Lord, it's been a while. And we've spoken at length about Papajohn, but we have not yet been able to talk about the newest trailer and possible spoiler leaks from Mr. Tom Holland himself regarding his newest Spider-Man film.
I have two spoiler warning updates for everybody. The first one is a quick spoiler warning just about Papajohn, because I want to mention it really quick.
My goodness, cannot wait.
When you were up on that stage talking about Papajohn, I assume the Papa, Father John,
right?
Because now he's Father John since he's stepped down. I'm assuming that he appreciated it, and he probably tried to give you free Papajohns, unknowing that you weren't even talking about him.
No. He just had tears streaming down his face the whole time. It was actually really touching.
Spoiler is he had like marinara sauce streaming down his face.
He's literally composed of pizza.
He's Papa Pizza John. I assume, for anybody that doesn't want spoilers on what his full name is, skip ahead like 10 seconds. I want you to know, really quick, Casey, that this guy's last name is John Schnatter.
Who?
Papa John. His name is John Schnatter.
So is Papa John a...
It's up to us to find out if he moved to LA and had to change his name for the world, or if he is in witness protection program and has hidden away behind the name Papa John, which, to be fair, is a terrible name to hide behind because it's very close to his original birth name.
What? Oh, okay, so this is our third episode now delving into Papa John.
But this is Pizza Papa John. Papa Pizza John.
Oh!
This is
about fucking the asshole?
It's not Michael Papa John Schnatter. This is Father, the man that runs a pizza franchise. I promise you, our friend Michael Papa John is well set on his name is just that from birth, Michael Papajohn.
Oh my goodness, you just almost gave me a fucking heart attack.
No.
I thought that our son, Michael Papajohn, had a different name, and he went out of his way to actually choose the name Papajohn.
There is no way, from how deep we dove last episode, we would not have figured that out.
Fucking hell, that's why I was so fucking scared. Okay, anyway, so what's the second spoiler?
The second spoiler is probably more important to anybody listening. The new Spider-Man coming up with Tom Holland, Spider-Man Far From Home. And it's so clever that they named it that because the first one was Homecoming, so he was at home, and now he's away from it. He just got back.
If there's one thing that the most recent Spider-Man movies are, it's clever.
He spoiled a major detail about Mysterio in the new Far From Home film. Tom Holland said, and I quote, "It's interesting because you hear the word Mysterio as a Spider-Man fan, you immediately think villain. That's not the case in our film.
Wow.
He's sort of a new addition to the world of heroes. He's sort of my teammate throughout the movie. That's 1,000% the only bad thing he could have said during an interview.
Yeah, that's like very, very major.
When you hear Mysterio is in a film, of course you think, spoiler, that he is a villain, because he is a villain.
Because that's his main thing, correct, yeah.
It should be a spoiler alert that he's, like, a villain in it. Not a spoiler that, like, oh, you're friends? But you know what this means. And this is why I bring this up, Casey. This is very important.
What does it mean?
That Spider-Man is now close friends with the man who is close friends with the man who killed his uncle.
Oh!
There is some sexual and non-sexual tension between Mysterio and Spider-Man. I already know it.
Damn. Yeah, this is gonna be fiery. I might have to actually see this one.
What would you do in that case? You're in a situation where your uncle was killed by Michael Papajohn, right?
Yeah.
Already kind of pretty cool, because Michael Papajohn's a pretty cool dude.
Very cool dude.
It's a little upsetting still nonetheless. You let it slide. Bada boom, come along, Mysterio. Mr. Mysterio. And that's just like a stage name, obviously, because he's not a villain. He's apparently a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, no.
He's been hanging out with the guy who totally murdered your uncle. Straight up slasher filmed your uncle. He wants to chill with you. You say, I'm down, I got free Friday, let's hang. Let's play some Smash Bros. What of it? And all of a sudden, mid-Smash game, 3 stocks, you're doing pretty alright. And he says, oh, BT dubs, Pete. I've been hanging out with Michael Papajohn too, and he wondered if he could come over. And you say, sure, because you've never met this guy. You don't know his real name. You've let him up the elevator and whatnot, but you've never asked. When he was holding him out the window, he wasn't just like, you killed my uncle. Also, what's your name?
Also, I missed the part where that's my problem.
Yeah, exactly. I missed the part where knowing your name was my problem. So you say sure. That guy comes over. All of a sudden, you're PTSD mode, right? Yeah. You're seeing this guy's face again. And now, it's very hard to miss the part where this is not your problem.
Where this is the part that is your problem.
Exactly. Everything...
I would like to think that you know how the end of Batman versus Superman is so anticlimactic because it's just Henry Cavill saying like you have to save Martha being also Batman's mother's name.
Yeah, how do you know that name? I'm very glad, by the way, I have seen that film and can agree with you that is
horrible.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss.
But I feel like the Papajohn dynasty is going to be similar to that in this new Spider-Man movie, where they'll be hanging out playing Smash, as you said. But rather than just him blurting out that I'm pals with the dude who killed your uncle 4 movies ago.
Oh my god.
He's like I got a dude coming over. He's my bud. I hope you don't mind. And he just comes over, of course.
Yeah.
And then that's where Pete gets the PTSD.
And what about this? Let's say Michael Papajohn, at this point, he's like Papajohn's has become a thing, right? At this point, would you say it exists they're in New York City. Why wouldn't it exist?
It has to, yeah.
He comes over and he's thinking, oh, it'll be probably funny if I like bring a Papa John's pizza, but also introduce myself and say my name is Papa John. He'll get the whole thing and whatnot. He walks in, Papa John holding the Papa John. He says it's pizza time.
Ooh,
all of a sudden,
yeah.
Big bombshell.
Oh shit.
Hey, you killed my uncle, but also you stole my line.
That's a double whammy.
Is it ruder that he stole his pizza timeline? Is it rude because it sounds like he's making fun of him for losing his pizza delivery job? Also, just the fact that you murdered my uncle. That's pretty not chill. And there's gonna be tension in the room because he's friends with Mysterio now, Pete. So he can't just be like, get out of here, because then that's gonna be rude to his other friend.
Yeah, I think Mysterio, he's going to have to turn heel at some point in this movie. He's not going to be able to be his best bud for the whole movie.
Which one? Michael Papajohn's best bud or Pete's best bud?
Pete's best bud.
Okay.
Because we need conflict in our films, correct?
Yes. Well, presumably. We didn't need it really in most DC films. The conflict is really just in the writer's room. But go on.
Right. Also, our reimagining of any of the Spider-Man movies, which literally just trims away the conflict and just makes for like a really pleasant watch.
The one where we just took Spider-Man out of the Spider-Man film.
Yeah. They're like there's trimming away of conflict, and then there's literally destroying a character. But it's fine.
Yeah.
So in Far From Home, we need there to be conflict. It's gonna come in the third act for some reason, where most conflict obviously arises. And it's gonna be Mysterio telling him about his uncle getting fucking shot and killed, because we actually don't even see his death in the Marvel movies. And I don't know if they've actually even mentioned his existence, because we've just seen Marissa Tomei being silly. But otherwise, we haven't actually seen anything regarding his uncle. So, hey, it could be anything. Anything could happen in this movie, and it's only going to be bad.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be some villainy, but we just don't know who it's coming from. And I like that, the unpredictability. Because, hey, maybe Tom Holland ends up being a villain. Who knows? Anything can happen now.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that I know about these MCU movies, it's that they are damned unpredictable. They're not formulaic at all. Yeah. They aren't made and feel like the same movie repackaged every 4 months.
Yeah.
So I think you're onto something here, and we're going to be seeing a very unpredictable Spider-Man movie.
This begs two questions for sure. If Mysterio's not the villain of the movie, who is?
It's gonna be the bully played by the little dude from Grand Budapest Hotel.
It's gonna be Flash.
Yeah, it's gonna be Flash.
It's
Flash
gonna be
Thompson.
Flash Thompson, and it's played by. Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna look up his name really quick. So it's gonna be the villain is gonna be Tony Revolori.
Yeah, the villain is Tony Revolori, and it's gonna be him just being like, Pete, you're kind of a jerk. It's gonna be really. It's gonna be really. I know it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough watch to see our character get destroyed so viciously with words, because words hurt after all.
Absolutely.
But
the more intense part of this film is, so in some comics, Flash Thompson becomes Agent Venom.
The fuck?
Because
God.
Flash Thompson's supposed to be this ripped football player.
Yeah, Tony Revolori.
Yeah, exactly. You already saw it. I hope he knows that that's what the character's supposed to be.
I mean, he was played by the biggest man in the world
in Raimi.
In Raimi's movie. Let me find his name also. Joe
Is it
Joe
Manganiello?
Manganiello, yeah. I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce his name. I don't think he knows how to pronounce his name. But like, you go from Flash Thompson, who's supposed to be this ripped dude, played by the most ripped dude, Joe Manganiello. Joe Mandarin Orange. And then you bounce it over to Tony Revolori. Can we get a fucking Flash Thompson whose last name is pronounceable? Jesus Christ.
Oh, they have a hot streak of only signing on people that if their name is so horribly hard to understand, they say, we'll just call you Thompson.
Dear Lord, it's just... Sorry, I'm angry. God.
And they have the most like mundane first names too. Tony, Joe. Now we'll call you Flash. Flash. Also, I didn't know this. His character, Tony Revolori's character in Grand Budapest, I knew his first name was Zero. That was his thing. His last name is Mustafa.
Yeah, that guy. Oh my god, I love that movie so much.
The thing I was gonna say is it's gonna be heartbreaking because he's supposed to become Agent Venom, where he's like, I think half symbiote, but also half soldier.
Okay.
He looks badass, whatever it is. I haven't read that comic, but I've seen the comic be made. Unfortunately, we won't get Agent Venom. We will get Lobby Boy.
We'll get Lobby Boy. Okay. I'm into that.
That is his villain costume. And we'll pretty much get like villainy music and like the Green Goblin flashes that we get when Spider-Man is like freaking out when Tobey Maguire's getting like the heat stroke flashes when he's starting to get his Spider-Man powers. Yeah. But like instead of Green Goblin flashes, we'll get Tony Revolori drawing on that pencil mustache that he has in Grand Budapest.
Oh, it's like the montage of of George Clooney
Oh
putting
God.
on the bat suit with the nipples.
Oh
But
my
it's
God.
just Tony Revolori drawing a very small, thin mustache on his little baby lip.
You have no idea what connection I just made in my head. You know who
please.
else is in Grand Budapest?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is in Grand Budapest Hotel. And there is a beautiful scene. If you have seen this film, you will work with me. It's one of my favorite scenes. It's the scene where Ralph Fiennes is hanging off the iceberg edge. And Willem Dafoe keeps stomping away at the iceberg edge while Rafe is saying like some Piper Boy BS.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, Zero pops up out of the snow, pushes Willem Dafoe off the cliff, and Rafe yells, "Holy shit, you got him!" And it's, it's one of my favorite things. But
oh my God.
this is very important, as we just made the connection that the Lobby Boy is the villain in the new Spider-Man film. Right. That means that Lobby Boy, that must have been Green Goblin Willem Dafoe in Grand Budapest.
Oh, that's why he's so evil.
And that must mean that in this universe, Willem Dafoe was still Green Goblin, but was killed by Flash Thompson.
Wow, this is very interesting.
And there's maybe motive there for Tom Holland to go after Flash Thompson now, because like he had no reason to hate Norman Osborn yet, because Norman hadn't gone crazy against him or the city or anything in the new Spider-Man franchise. So now he just hates Flash Thompson for killing his friend's dad.
Jesus. But they haven't even introduced the Osborns in the Marvel movies, have they?
I don't think so.
I don't think they have. Once again, disclaimer, I have not even seen Homecoming. So I am a blank slate and it feels good. And also, going back to Grand Budapest, because that movie's fucking brilliant, I was thinking of how just the comic timing of Revolori coming over and pushing Dafoe off the cliff was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me think of other movies with great comic timing. Have you ever seen Wish Upon?
Of course I have.
Holy cow. Okay, now let's deconstruct this movie.
Please.
Please. I saw it. I've seen it a few times because it's just absolutely hysterical. It's basically a PG-13 version of the Final Destination movies.
Yes.
But
well
with,
said.
Joey King, one of the worst actresses out there right now.
Hey.
Who keeps consistently getting work. Wild.
Hey, I love Tobey Maguire. Joey King has never been in a bad film.
Fool. Okay.
Wish Upon, Slenderman, The Act, whatever that show is on Hulu.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, that's got Patricia Arquette.
I just saved a movie the other day where the whole film is about her grandma's dying wishes for Joey King to learn how to give a good blowjob. I'm not kidding.
All right, anyway, well... So, obviously, that's a great start. She's got a great track record.
Yes.
And her acting in Wish Upon is just fucking outstanding.
Yep.
So, setting the scene, her father is a dumpster diver, and that's his main way of making money, which I didn't ask any questions when I was watching it. I was in. I believed it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So he dumpster dives with his buddy, who basically is like... acts as Joey King's uncle. You know, they're like family.
Yeah.
And one day Joey King goes to high school, has a shitty day because there's, you know, the cliche bully girls, and her friends are there, her support system. Comes home, Pep Ryan Felipe, by the way, plays her father, who is boyish as ever despite him being in his 40s. And he hands her the magic box with which she will wish upon.
Oh, you said the name of the film.
Yes. It is clever and it is good. So she makes a wish after the girl bullies the ever-living heck out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And her wish is that she would just rot. Which is a weird thing for a teenager to say in general.
It is as specific as they needed it to be. How do we just say, like, I wish she would just go, like, jump off a cliff? That's probably something that someone would say more common than, I wish that this girl, I hate her, I wish she would decompose. I really wish she would make, like, an orange and just biodegrade.
And it's such a like a pinpointed, accurate thing. Like usually it's like, oh, I wish they'd die. You know, just very general, very broad. She went in. She knew what she wanted, and in that moment of fury, the box listened and it did it. And thereafter, every time she makes a wish, it is reciprocated with a death of someone close to her. Mm-hmm. And by close to her, it can either mean her father, possibly, or it can mean her next door neighbor who she has spoken to twice. Yeah. So it's like, you know, the rules are pretty good.
You know what film that definitely reminds me of that I can't remember the name of? Is that box film. Where it's like, you get however much money from pressing this button, but someone in the world will die.
Oh, The Box, yeah.
Is it literally called The Box?
It is called The Box.
Have you ever... there was a sketch that made the perfect sense of it. It's just someone somewhere in the world will die, and a man just keeps pressing it over and over again, just without listening to the rules, because he's just getting money, and he doesn't care who dies. He's just getting money. Exactly. And hey, you're fixing overpopulation at the same time, too, so win-win.
Scrooge would have done that without a second thought.
Joey King didn't even have like an upside, you know? She just made someone rot. And killed someone else.
Yeah, so she made one girl rot, and I will say the makeup for that scene was actually pretty sweet. Yeah. But then, like, as the movie keeps going on, she keeps making these idiotic wishes. So she's super annoyed and embarrassed by her father because he's a dumpster diver. He's like this weird dude. And at one point she's like, I wish that my dad was cool. Yeah. And in the movie translates cool to him playing a saxophone downstairs.
Heck yeah.
And his her best friend, played by Barb from Stranger Things.
The best actor.
The absolute worst actor. Yeah, I think that she was worse than Joey King in that movie.
Absolutely. I've never liked a second of seeing her on the screen.
It is so wild. And she got her own Netflix movie after Stranger Things, despite being on Stranger Things for an episode, I think.
Too long.
And everyone's like, oh, Barb, everyone loves Barb. I mean, fucking Stranger Things sucks in general, first of all. Hey, Barb fucking sucks also, so dear Lord. I'm just going to go off right now.
Go for
Wish Upon's
it.
awesome. The first time I saw it, I immediately wrote about it. So I wrote this diatribe on my website about it. I'll post it on social media. It's a delight. And there's so many avenues that the movie goes down that are so unintentionally hilarious that it actually ended up being the funniest movie I saw all year. That's the same year that the Big Sick came out, and I thought the Big Sick was brilliant. But Wish Upon was even funnier.
Yeah, how do you
movie.
beat? Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you even compete with Wish Upon?
It's just so good, and it's like the best kind of horrible movie. It's very similar to Hurricane Heist in my heart, or Triple X, which I just watched last night.
Good.
Because it's so blatantly inept in both its direction, its writing, its fucking even cinematography. Like in Triple X last night, I cannot count how many Dutch angles there were for no reason, but it was so good. So yeah, Wish Upon.
No reason, like there wasn't a reason. I mean, Dutch is cool enough. Just because it's Dutch is enough reason.
You can really see the power dynamic between Vin Diesel's red Corvette in the street when he's driving down, and it's kind of angled a bit.
Yeah, so I don't know. Wish Upon. Fucking see it. I'm not gonna spoil the ending for you. She gets hit by a truck. Sorry, she dies. All right, so shit. I won't spoil it anymore. Also, there's a whole subplot with like Chinese ghosts. Oh, it's good.
And there's that the belief that she can't stop making even though she like knows that the wishes are fucked. She can't stop because now she's like mad with power.
She's corrupted. She's like Daenerys Targaryen. She's corrupted with power. And now she's gonna go and keep making wishes and kill people.
Yeah. And I love that at no point is everybody's favorite thing in those films, and they don't have a way out on it, is the worst part of writing one of those films. She could either wish that the box wasn't cursed.
Wow.
Or after like something goes wrong, she could wish that everybody couldn't die. Just something like she could wish her way out of any part of the curse. Like, I wish that nobody that I'm close to could die from my wishes. I wish that I couldn't die from my wishes. I wish for world peace, please.
Yeah, I wish that food scarcity wasn't a thing. I wish that people could have clean water everywhere in the world. I wish that cancer was not in existence. But no, she wants to be cool. She wants to have a spending spree. She wants her
dad
dog
to be
dies
cool.
at one point. Yeah, she wants her dad to be.
The dad, yeah, and then doesn't she wish for her mom to come back? And in accordance, her dad dies because of it.
Yeah. The film actually opens on a flashback where her mother ends up hanging herself, and then Joey King walks in the room and witnesses it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would have been such an interesting character moment for any other movie. It could have delved into her psyche, but no, she just actually is just a vacant high school girl. Oh, it's good. Sorry.
Hey, let's take a moment, everybody, to appreciate how good Joey King is, all right?
Oh.
And I just want to talk about some things that she's been in. It's very important.
Please.
She was in, obviously, the TV show series The Act on Hulu. She's also in a movie called The Lie, which is pretty much The Act, because that's what The Act is. She's in the movie Kissing Booth 2. I have no confirmation yet that she was in the first one. She was in a movie called I Wish I Was Here, which came before Wish Upon. So I think she already knew how to wish going into Wish Upon, which is why they cast her.
Yeah, that's why Zach Braff cast her specifically for that role, because he knew that he could put a wig on her and make her look like a fucking idiot. Sorry, go on.
She was in the eulogy of Ivy O'Connor as Ivy O'Connor. She was in Froyo a Go-Go.
Nice.
Everybody remembers her from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody when she was in, I guess, 2 episodes.
You missed the part where she was in Independence Day Resurgence.
Hey, I'm getting there.
I don't think you are, because that's very integral.
She was also in Taylor Swift Mean as the young bullied girl.
Damn.
She was in Dark Knight Rises as older prison child.
Well, you also missed the part where she was uncredited as the young bullied girl in Taylor Swift's Mean.
She uncredited?
She was uncredited.
Is that not bullying in itself?
Yeah.
There it is. She was credited in American Dad as Familyland.
Is that huh?
As what I would assume is just a full amusement park. I'm getting to... Alright, she was in Borealis as Aurora. Isn't that cute?
Now that is actually cute.
But I gotta jump around to everything. So yeah. Summer 03 was the movie about where her grandma on her dying deathbed wishes that her daughter or her 16-year-old whatever could give a good blowjob. And then that's what the film is about. Very important thing that I had to mention, though. The reason I built everything up is if you haven't seen Tween Fest, this is very important.
Believe it or not, I haven't.
It's a TV series where she plays Madison Crawford, and she spells Madison the most fun way, which is Maddisyn, Madison. Let me just give you a couple examples of TV show names, all right?
Yeah.
Episode names. Episode 1 is called #Spurge Explosion.
Okay. Spurge Explosion.
Episode 2 is Australia's Rowdiest Prank Group.
Okay.
Episode 3 is Vape Battle of the Century.
Whoa! Now that sounds cool.
Episode 5 is Congressman Ass Bitch.
Congressman Ass Bitch?
Congressman Ass Bitch.
Oh, I like that you said congressman.
Congressman, because I was thinking congressional. You know me. The very important thing, though, is out of all these episodes, the last episode is called Tween Fest Begins.
Tween Fest Begins. So it's like Batman Begins, but
yes, it's
a little bit more epic.
It's like the whole series is building up season 2. This is very important.
So it's like Daredevil. It's like the Netflix series Daredevil, where he actually gets his suit on the very last episode.
Or like Gotham, where he doesn't get the suit until season 5?
Did anyone watch Gotham?
I watched 2 seasons, dead hopeful that it would get better.
And then
it's done.
That it's Fox series.
I can't like something that is Fox. It just didn't do anything well. Oh, she is in Kissing Booth 1. Hey, This is also important. She's in a video game that I own. I know you're looking at it, but don't look at it and guess what the game is.
Wii Tennis.
What game would she be in? Wii Tennis is pretty good. Like, she would make those noises, like the Wii noises. Fine. She could be in a Sims game, sure. Well, they're, like, kind of feel it out. What would Joey King be good at? And don't even try and guess if it's one of her films. It's not. It should be. It's not.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna say Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the video game.
God, you're getting closer. Why?
Thank you.
I'll just help you out a little bit. And I'm a little bit surprised you didn't already guess that she was in Madden NFL 19.
In what capacity? Come on.
You know, the football game with all the football players breaking each other's necks. Did you ever hear Joey King's voice?
I unfortunately have, yeah.
And she's in something called Sabrina Carpenter. Sue me. And it doesn't say what she is in it. I'll assume Sabrina Carpenter.
All right, so you know what sucks?
Tell me.
I love bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
I own several of them literally just because they're horrible and an absolute delight.
Good.
So I'm on Amazon right now. I'm trying to look up how much Wish Upon Blu-ray would be.
Yeah.
Director's unrated cut, of course.
Right.
Speaking of which, the director of Wish Upon used to be James Wan's cinematographer. So that tells you how much he knows about horror, first of all, but also how much he knows about direction.
Oh, fun fact, by the way, sidebar before you keep your thought.
Yeah.
James Wan and Sam Raimi are producing a feature film adaptation of a Dutch horror short called The Burden.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually sounds really interesting.
There you go. James Wan and Sam Raimi fighting it out for Best Picture. You heard it here first, folks.
I can't think of a better duo. Dear Lord, for like horror, actual horror. Mm-hmm. That's tight.
Also, James Wan said not getting an Oscar for VFX and Aquaman was a fucking disgrace.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. I miss when he just made like good suspenseful horror.
Mm-hmm.
And now he did fucking Furious 7, which is miserable, and then he did fucking Aquaman, which looks hysterical but also horrible. I wish that he would go back to his like roots and not be this anymore, but oh well. Anyway,
midlife crisis in directing terms.
I guess. I mean, you got to make money somehow, so I can't really begrudge him for getting 2 movies past $1 billion worldwide. So I don't know, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck me. Wish Upon is not even available from Amazon itself. It's only available from sellers online, and they're all used. So fuck. I want a fresh ass copy of Wish Upon. What is it asking too much to want Wish Upon on Blu-ray, a movie that came out 3 years ago, I think. Now I don't know. Whatever. Fuck you. God damn.
It's got to be somewhere. Also, I'm just gonna say it. There's a guy in because I'm still on it, Tweenfest.
Jesus Christ.
His character's name is Twonkmaster Chris.
Twonkmaster?
Twonkmaster Chris, and it's played by. Who is this guy? Because he looks very familiar. Is he who I think he is? He is! He is! He is who I think he is! What's his character's name in the show? I gotta find it. Oh, man. You're not even gonna believe this. He's Mr. Quest in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Mr. Quest.
He's like the one that like seems like a psychic. Every time it goes to him, it like plays like a sitar, and he's like very old, wizened man. Sometimes he also played Abe Lincoln on the show.
Oh my, okay. Actually, that does somehow ring a bell.
Just look at that man and tell me, looking at his face, that he does not scream Twonkmaster.
Oh my god! Yeah, he looks really good.
Oh my god, wait, what the hell? I pressed to see more names, and there are some weird names. Alright, there's someone that plays Tween Feet Sniffer.
What is this, a Tarantino movie?
There's someone that plays Gus the Fingerer.
This is a middle school survival guide, right?
No, I wish! This is Tween Fest or whatever. Tween Fest. Imagine if that was in Ned Declassified. Oh, hey, Gus the Fingerer.
Yikes, that's fucking great.
There's a guy who plays Down to Fuck.
Who is this fucking show for? Oh my god!
There's a guy that is named Stop the Preston. Crate. There's. Oh my god! There's so many. Oh my god! Tim Meadows is in this show, and he plays a hologram version of Miles Davis.
Huh. Okay.
Oh man. Oh,
so I guess
boy.
this just furthers our point regarding Joey King being a really talented actress and choosing her roles very well.
Yeah. There's someone that plays the Pasta Beast. There's someone that plays Pamburger 2000. Someone plays Jesus Juice. And then he has a friend named Bruce Juice, which is very close to Boost Juice, and I love it.
See, I am
my God.
a relatively avid collector of movies. Or I used to be, at least, before I started saving money, of course, because I'm a fucking college graduate now, and I can't save money. Super in debt. I do not think that I own any films with Joey King, and that is a detriment. What? I know, that's why I really gotta buy Wish Upon soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, last one, there's a person in Tweenfest named E. Sigmund Freud. So
I'm gonna have to ask you to get out of IMDb right now.
I am off.
And fuck right off. You heard it here first, folks. This is the beginning of the end for us. We're breaking up soon.
E. Sigmund Freud is
he's too in love.
Dope name.
You bitch.
I gotta watch all of Tweenfest now. If I don't watch all of Tweenfest, then I'm not really doing my research now, am I?
Oh, this episode is really taking an interesting turn.
Oh, and the second thing about Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
Way back when I said there were two things, and we started talking about the first thing is who will be the villain. The second thing is who is Bruce Campbell gonna be?
Let's see. So he can put on a mean accent. We already know this.
Yeah.
And they're going, where are they going? London?
Oh man, I don't care.
Oh my god, that's so true. Never mind. So yeah, so whatever, he's going to some European country, so wherever he goes, he's going to be able to put on a tight accent. I'm going to say he's going to be a bus driver.
Perfect.
They need to get around, bunch of kids, bunch of rowdy American kids on a bus. So he's going to be the no-nonsense Chris Farley bus driver from Billy Madison.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, so where Chris Farley would just shriek and scream and whatnot. Just imagine the ever cool and collected Bruce Campbell just doing that, becoming unhinged. Maybe he's the villain. Do you ever think of that?
Oh my god.
Maybe he's the villain in this movie, and he's just like super angry. Yeah.
If that was the case, they wouldn't be able to stop him.
But I mean, we thought that they couldn't stop Thanos also, and that took up 3 fucking hours of my life. So they did. Whatever.
Did you really think they couldn't stop Thanos?
Absolutely not. But I mean, that's the whole thing that they're trying to, set up. They're like, oh my god, this guy is fucking cool and really powerful. But obviously, you can stop him.
If his neck, like his chin, looks like just neck fat, like he should be a turkey and have one of those things. What's it called? A snoot or whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah. Snoot.
There's no way you're gonna convince me to like him.
Also, so one day I texted you and I was just saying, I was like venting to you how our social media or our Twitter account follows a bunch of Spider-Man like fans, and how it is easily by far the most negative social media presence I have seen yet. And like I'm on Facebook all the time, and everyone's all like angry and shitty, and there's a lot of politics and shit.
Yeah, 4chan and Reddit cannot compare to Spider-Man fans on Twitter.
They absolutely cannot, because like everybody is just so fucking grim and like, all you Raimi fanboys are such assholes. They're all fun movies. It's like, relax. But right now, people are going off about how the newest Far From Home poster looks like a fucking dumpster fire, which I do agree with. And it's just very funny. Because, like, it does look very bad. It looks very photoshopped and very, like, clinical.
Spider-Man Far From Home poster. Let me see this. It looks... wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like not even just fan made. It looks like first time fan used Photoshop fan made.
Yeah, so it's in the foreground is Peter Parker with his like side to the camera. He's looking off to the left, and he doesn't have a mask on for some reason. Sam Jackson's over behind him on the left hand side with a gun in his hand, and then Mysterio is on his right with a glowing green hand, and he's also looking very sly at the camera. Someone on Twitter says, "Wow, that's interesting because Mysterio's most iconic character thing is his helmet." And then Spider-Man's most important thing is his mask. So, like, why do they not have them on?
Might as well have just given Nick Fury a second eye.
I know.
If you see the solo posters where it's, like, just Mysterio or just Spider-Man, the just Mysterio one, fine. The just Spider-Man one looks like that doesn't even look like Tom Holland's real. It looks like Tom Holland is animated.
Yeah, he really does. He looks like Grand Moff Tarkin from Rogue One.
It's weird.
Not good. It is also funny that when you said the Solo posters, I thought you were referring to the Star Wars movie Solo.
Yeah.
And I was about to scream again because I hate that movie more than anything.
Now I'm looking it up. Han Solo poster.
You know what's really great about Solo?
At least they got that right. They put Emilia Clarke in the front.
Nice. Solo's the best movie that's ever been made, especially by Disney, because it never relies on nostalgia or like fan service. It's a very original take on the character, and it's just it's fresh and rewarding, and not pandering and childish. That's all. I'm not angry.
They took a note out of episode 8 where they realized how much everyone loved the gambling planet.
Yes.
And said, let's do a whole scene where all he does is gamble with Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Childish Gambino and his sex slave robot. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not even a sex slave robot. That robot's like very passive aggressive and like probably not putting out as often as he would like.
See, my issue with that is, though, that they very clearly delineate a sexual relationship with him and the robot. But they also very clearly delineate that he purchased the robot. So it's like, gross? Oh, man. Yeah, they've had some really, really good home runs in recent years, Star Wars, huh?
They're pretty much knocking it out of the park. I mean, everybody's favorite thing. And in no way do I know many people who started petitions to boycott the new Star Wars films that are made by the people who rushed season 8 of Game of Thrones. Those are clearly gonna be amazing, and if they aren't amazing, people are gonna ask for those guys to be lynched. I mean, like, if you rushed the first, if not second biggest show in the country to a conclusion for a series finale to make very not great Star Wars films, people are not gonna like you at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting that Colin Trevorrow was attached to direct the 9th movie, Star Wars Episode 9. But then, and he's, for context, he's the guy who directed Jurassic World. Which was horrible and generic. And
I don't know why you keep calling all of these amazing classics horrible.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. I'm kind of a pretentious prick, so I understand. But he then, like 2 years before he was supposed to actually start directing and working on his Star Wars project, Colin directed I don't know if it would be called a passion project, but it's called The Book of Henry. The Book of Henry is It's about an autistic kid who
What's the name of the autistic kid, huh?
I think it's Hank. And he writes down a thing for his mother, instructions for his mother to kill his neighbor because his neighbor is abusive, I think, to his daughter.
Should have just wished it to a box.
I wish every film could have good writing.
Well, careful. You're going to kill someone with that wish.
And the thing with the Book of Henry is it was supposed to be like a family drama with like comic elements, I think.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a tone-deaf monster mess.
Good.
Sort of like Collateral Beauty, but I would argue less funny. So then after that bombed, he actually lost his Star Wars project.
Wow.
So like, what do you have to do to get dropped from your Star Wars project if you're D&D? What are their fucking names? The two Game of Thrones boys.
It's I think Dylan something.
Dave
and DB.
David
Wise?
and DB. Yeah, David and DB.
But yeah, so let's take it a little further. Like, you know that I'm pretty sure Rian Johnson, he did the 8th film, right?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Abrams. Okay, yeah. You know, like, he was supposed to have his own 3 movies, and those got canceled too.
Did they actually get canceled?
Yeah, and so like he's not making those 3, and so for him, what he had to do to not get the rights to do Star Wars movies was to make one, and to show everyone, wow, we really fucked up giving him the reins, didn't we? Yeah. Also, apparently, I just looked up Rian Johnson, and he's bragging about how he totally predicted weeks ago how Game of Thrones would end.
Oh, the stars are aligning, boys. The stars are aligning.
Also, I don't know what that means. There's one tweet from him with a picture from Season 8 of Game of Thrones, and it just says, "Do not congratulate."
Huh.
That's all it says.
Weird.
Oh, boy. Boy,
it's
oh, boy, oh, man, oh, boy.
They had so much trust in him to direct their middle movie, their Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And all he had directed before that was
Looper?
Brick and Looper. Yeah, Brick was actually pretty fun. It's like a neo-noir set in a high school. And then Looper's pretty good. It's not great, but it had a lot of interesting ideas, much like how The Last Jedi had a lot of really interesting ideas. It's just the way that he executed them was really horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I heard something about how he directed 3 episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, some of the best ones. Some of the best ones, actually.
Yeah? Actually good episodes? Okay. Because am I mistaken, is the episode with the fly a Rian Johnson episode?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I like that episode a lot. I know
I
a
did
lot of people
too.
hate it.
I really did too, and I know my roommate, who's now wrong, told me that was Rian Johnson.
I don't think so. I know Johnson directed Ozymandias, which is probably one of my favorite episodes of television in general.
There is something that if you haven't seen many Rian Johnson things and you really need to see something really, really good, watch his first short. And I'm not kidding when I say you're gonna throw up when you watch it because it's so bad.
Really?
It's called Evil Demon Golf Ball from Hell. Yikes. And the whole film is just like this golf ball very poorly bouncing consistently next to this man, driving him insane. It's like the very famous old YouTube video of the man who gets beaten to death slowly by a spoon.
Huh, okay.
Except in no way is it that good.
Is it supposed to be tongue-in-cheek? Is it, like, intentionally bad? Is it trying to be clever?
It looks like watching it felt like watching Eraserhead.
I don't like Eraserhead.
Well, you're gonna love this.
Oh, God. Has Zach seen this? Does he love it?
Yeah, we all watched it.
Boof.
We all watched it. I don't remember. Actually, let's see what I gave it on Letterboxd. This episode is brought to you by Letterboxd. Letterboxd. Are you in college and you like rating things? Letterboxd. It's for everybody that's not a professional critic on IMDb, because I actually, just because I was talking about it, typed in Letterboxd on Letterboxd. It's for everybody that knows that IMDb exists but does not agree with anything that was reviewed on IMDb. Letterboxd. Let your wild side out.
Follow me on Letterboxd at the Film Tent. Thank you.
That just sounds like a boner now, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's actually I didn't even mean for that. That's my website, also, thefilmtent.com.
I remember that.
I basically just wanted something, easy and catchy that I could make with logo.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the Film Tent, and then my buddy at work, he was like, "Oh, is that for, like, you love movies so much that you just get a boner? Like a pants tent?" And I was like, "Oh, yes."
Well, this will be a good way to wrap it up. My review of Evil Demon Golf Ball from Hell, I gave it 0.5 star, and I said, we don't even get the golf ball's backstory. And then I said, Guy says, This demon golf ball won't stop following me. Tobey Maguire responds, I don't see the part where that's my problem. And one person commented, what the hell? And that's the whole review.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's wrap it up on a high note.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I will say directing a movie and writing a movie in the Star Wars universe is no easy feat, especially when the fan base is as vitriolic as it is. I think that The Last Jedi succeeds in introducing new ideas, but bitterly fails at actually implementing them in any interesting or coherent ways. He's a very talented director. He's a very talented writer. I wish that he hadn't been just given the reins alone, because he is the sole writer on that movie, because that shit needed fucking several rewrites.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast. We are a family here, and as families do, we will feed you and guide you and pay for your college. And that's all this thing is, really. Share it with everybody that you know. Share it with everybody that you really don't know. Walk up to a stranger in an elevator and just press all the buttons. While they're going up to like the top floor, press all the buttons, make it stop at every floor, and just say, I will not let you out of this elevator until you download an episode of Raimi Time Podcast, because that's pretty much the only way that we're going to get people to listen. And it's up to people like you, the people who are go-getters, the people who trap other people in elevators so they'll listen to a podcast. Even if they say...
Actually, they did that on in Elf. Well, I remember when he goes in the elevator and he touches everything. He says it looks like a Christmas tree. He actually did that because he was going to show that glasses, the man wearing glasses, our podcast back in 2003. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep, a lot of people don't know that because we actually paid to have that in the film, and they still cut it from the film, which was ridiculous.
Absolute bullshit.
But thank you so much for listening to Raimi Time. I think we gotta go bye.
Gotta go bye.